At its core, the Schumann resonance is basically a set of extremely low-frequency ELF electromagnetic resonances. You can think of them as the natural frequencies that exist within a specific global space. That space is the cavity, the gap between the Earth's surface and the lower boundary of the ionosphere. This space, often called the Earth ionosphere cavity, acts like a giant spherical waveguide. Electromagnetic waves literally bounce around inside
A
it.
waveguide.
Exactly. And the fundamental frequency, the main one everyone talks about, is approximately 7.83 hertz. But there are also higher harmonics, like echoes, sort of at roughly 14 hertz, 20 hertz, 26 hertz, and so on. These aren't random. They form because the cavity itself naturally prefers to resonate at these specific wavelengths. Much like, how a guitar string, when plucked, vibrates at its fundamental frequency and its overtones.
Wow. So Earth isn't just silently spinning out there in space, it's actually humming. It is this constant pulse, that's a powerful image, this invisible vibration all around us. Why is it so important for us to understand this fundamental hum? I mean, why does it matter beyond just being a cool scientific fact?
Well, it matters because it's a foundational aspect of our planet's electromagnetic environment. It's always there, constantly present, subtly influencing everything. Understanding it gives us, I think, a much deeper insight into Earth's energetic systems. And this brings us right to what our sources suggest is a really crucial reevaluation of how this resonance even gets started. You see, mainstream science typically teaches that these resonances are primarily excited by lightning strikes. That's the common explanation. The widely accepted idea is that these massive lightning discharges happen all around the planet, creating powerful electromagnetic pulses. These pulses then bounce around inside that Earth ionosphere cavity. And at specific frequencies, you get constructive interference, the waves add up, causing those standing wave patterns we identify as the Schumann resonances. It's a very logical sort of cause and effect explanation, painting lightning as the generator, the source.
Yeah, that does feel logical. I mean, lightning is such a powerful, visible electrical event, right? So you'd naturally assume it's the main driver. But here's where it gets really interesting, because our sources suggest this model, while maybe true in part, might be, quote, incomplete and potentially misleading. Sounds like we're about to dig into a much deeper truth about Earth's resonance.
Exactly. This is where the critical distinction comes in. Our sources really emphasize that the resonance is a pre-existing structural feature of Earth's electromagnetic environment. It's not something produced by lightning. The Earth ionosphere cavity itself, that space, isn't generated by lightning strikes. Instead, it exists as a stable electromagnetic potential. Why? Because of the spherical geometry of the Earth and its atmospheric boundary. Specifically, you've got the conductive ionosphere high above and the relatively conductive Earth below. Think of it like this. The cavity is always there, always ready to resonate at its preferred frequencies.
Ah, okay, so the structure exists first.
Precisely. And this represents a crucial reversal of cause and effect. Lightning doesn't create the Schumann resonance. It simply activates it or stimulates it. It makes it louder, you could say. The resonance itself is primary. Lightning is secondary. It's an expression of energetic imbalance like static discharge seeking a path through an already tuned field. In fact, lightning itself is formed within and because of that atmospheric cavity and the conditions there. So rather than being the source, lightning is more like a visible manifestation of the cavity's energetic dynamics playing out. Any strong electromagnetic energy entering this pre-existing tuned cavity will naturally excite it at its inherent harmonic frequencies. Think of a bell. The bell doesn't create sound itself, but it resonates at its specific tone when you strike it. Lightning is the strike.
That's a fascinating reframe. So it's less about lightning creating the resonance and more about it just revealing it or activating what's already inherently there. Okay, so if lightning just rings the bell, what does that mean for how we understand this planetary rhythm? It implies the Earth has its own inherent tune, independent of these big dramatic events like storms.
Exactly. The hum is constant.
And it's not just about lightning being the trigger we can easily see, right? Our sources suggest that other massive planetary forces are actually crucial for maintaining and modulating this whole global resonance thing. It's clearly not a solo act by lightning.
You're absolutely right. It's more like a grand orchestration, a planetary symphony, if you will. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it becomes clear the Schumann resonance is part of a much larger dynamic system. For instance, think about tidal forces from the moon and sun. They don't just pull on the oceans, they also cause periodic compression and relaxation of the Earth's atmosphere itself. And this subtly influences the size and the electrical properties of that atmospheric cavity.
Ah, I never thought about atmospheric tides affecting it.
Then you have the geomagnetic fields, Earth's own magnetic shield. It's constantly interacting with the solar wind, that stream of charged particles flowing from the sun. This interaction shapes the ionosphere, the upper boundary, and directly influences the cavity's size and its electrical conductivity, how easily waves can travel. And of course, Earth's rotation and its magnetic tilt, these also affect how energy circulates globally within this whole intricate system.
Okay, so lots of moving parts.
Lots of them. And all these forces work together in concert to help sustain the cavity and maintain its resonant properties. They ensure a delicate balance. It's not a zero resistance environment that would just let the energy dissipate quickly. Instead, it's a precisely calibrated system that supports these standing waves without rapid energy loss. Like a well-designed musical instrument that holds its tone, right? This dynamic interplay allows the resonance to kind of self-propagate around the globe in a continuous loop. It's constantly completing itself in both space and time. Essentially, it sustains Earth's hum.
Wow. It really sounds like our planet is this incredibly complex, self-sustaining resonant system, with everything from the moon pulling on the atmosphere to the solar wind blowing past, playing a part in keeping this fundamental hum going. It paints a picture of Earth not just as a rock, but as a living, breathing, resonating entity, incredibly interconnected.
Yeah.
So this naturally raises a huge question. If the Earth's cavity is this natural harmonic system, always there, always resonating, what are the implications for us, particularly maybe in the realm of energy? This feels like it could have some pretty monumental significance for technology, maybe our future.
It absolutely could, and this is where it gets really fascinating, potentially disruptive even. The core idea our sources explore is this. If the Earth's cavity is a natural harmonic system, then maybe it can be tuned into, not just for passively measuring it like scientists do now, but for active energy transfer. And this is exactly what Nikola Tesla was attempting or claiming to attempt with his wireless energy systems over a century ago.
Right, Tesla. I was wondering if he'd come into this.
His approach was revolutionary for the time, maybe even now. He envisioned tapping into these natural Earth resonances. His idea was that by matching the Earth's own resonant frequencies, energy could perhaps be transmitted through the ground or maybe the upper atmosphere with minimal loss, potentially powering homes and devices across vast distances without needing physical wires. He essentially saw the Earth itself as the conduit, a massive natural electrical circuit just waiting to be used.
That's mind-blowing.
It is. And our sources highlight that this kind of technology, despite its incredible promise, was largely sidelined, pushed aside. A key reason, they suggest, is that widespread understanding and, more importantly, utilization of Earth's resonant behavior would fundamentally challenge the centralized models of energy distribution we rely on today. Think about it. If energy doesn't strictly need physical wires to travel efficiently over distance, but only requires resonance, then the entire infrastructure built around power grids, poles, wires, utility companies becomes, well, maybe not obsolete, but certainly less essential in the same way. It implies that the planet is already equipped, potentially, to serve as a medium for high-efficiency transmission, a kind of natural planetary power grid, which could, theoretically, democratize energy access in a profound way. It definitely makes you question the technological paths we chose, doesn't it? And maybe the potential we left unexplored.
Absolutely. Imagine a world where energy distribution was just fundamentally different because we understood and actually utilized the Earth's own natural resonant capabilities. It's a truly paradigm-shifting idea. It hints at a future where our relationship with energy is far more symbiotic, perhaps less reliant on this massive, controllable, centralized infrastructure. It would require a completely new way of thinking about how we power our civilization. Okay, so to try and sum up this deep dive then, the Schumann resonance is a natural consequence of the Earth ionosphere cavity. That space is key. It seems it's not created by lightning, but is instead an ever-present field, an inherent property of Earth. And it gets excited, or rung like a bell, by energy inputs of which lightning is just one very visible example. The Earth isn't passive in this. It has this inherent fundamental frequency, maintained by this grand orchestration of planetary forces, tides, magnetic fields, solar wind, rotation.
That's a great summary. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, well, understanding the primacy of this field, that it comes first, it profoundly reshapes how energy and perhaps even other planetary systems could be understood and maybe utilized in the future. It really encourages us to look at our world through a more interconnected, energetic lens where everything is vibrating, everything is influencing everything else, and our planet itself is a key player in that intricate, resonant dance. It's less mechanical, more vibrational.
This deep dive definitely makes you think. If our planet is a giant resonating system, potentially capable of carrying energy on its own, what other fundamental properties of Earth are we maybe yet to fully grasp? What other potentials are lying dormant in plain sight? And what might that understanding mean for our future, for how we live, how we generate power, how we interact with the very world around us? It leaves us with this incredible thought: the Earth might hold far more secrets about energy and its fundamental rhythms than we've ever really imagined.